hypochondriac? Anybody else here a hypochondriac?
Yeah.
Don't you love the way she said that too?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, like tell me your symptoms. I'd like to check in and see. We got the same thing going on right here in our heads. I had something before the pandemic called pink eye. Anybody else ever had this before? Yeah. I like the way you nodded your head. You're like, yep, not gonna admit it, but yep. Absolutely. It's gross, right? It's disgusting. Okay? For those of you guys unfamiliar, I had pus coming out of my eye. Oh yeah, that is nasty, right? But I'm an adult, right? So I treated it like an adult, okay? I emailed the doctor that night. And I was like, hey, I think I have an infection because I've been getting pussy all night. I like how there was just a wave, like a wave at the baseball game, like before everybody finally got it. That was solid. Yeah, some of you guys have figured it out from the doctor's standpoint. Right? They got a very different email. From their point of view, some random guy just emailed and went, yo, doc, I think I've got an infection. Because I've been getting pussy all night. Yeah, like I just needed to brag. But also a hypochondriac, so I wanted to know what's going on. Worst part about that whole situation is someone was CC'd on that email. Oh, it gets better, okay? That person was the physician's assistant. Now, it gets even better than that because I had been dating her for 4 months. Yeah. You all see where this is going, right? Yeah? So I'm freaking out. So I emailed back immediately because I didn't want her to think that I'm that type of a guy, right? As you can clearly tell, I'm woke. All right, no applause break for that one. See how that works. So I emailed back immediately and I'm like, oh, you don't understand. I didn't mean pussy. I meant pussy with an exclamation point. In all caps. And I sent that email. And after I sent that email, I looked at the email and I went, ew. Yeah, that is spelled exactly the same. Well, now it just looks like I'm re-emphasizing the point with the all caps and the punctuation. Like when I didn't get an email back immediately from the doctor, I'm like, oh, yo, doc, I don't think you understood, dude. It wasn't like pussy. It was like, fuck you, pussy! Like I'm just some douchebag bro that wanted to like fist pound the doctor through the computer. Or something like that, right? Big shocker, she sent me a text message not long after that. And this is the text that I got from her, okay? It went like this. Oh my God. Your email to the doctor was hilarious. Not the emotion I was going for. So I was very apologetic, right? So I was like, I'm so sorry you had to deal with this at work. And she texts back, don't worry about it. The doctor knows you, so he knew it wasn't true. Oh my God. And then she broke up with me not long after that. Yeah, and check this out. She did it over Facebook. Oh, I know. I thought it was messed up that she made it an event. That's just a really public way to break up with somebody. Yeah. And my mom clicked attending. I think my mom drew a line in the sand there. She's like, you know what? Kind of like Jenny. I don't know about this. I think I'm going to go in that direction right there. We'll talk about this with you guys here. I used to play soccer I played professionally, and don't get too excited when I say that right there, because I played minor league soccer here in the United States. Yeah, that's right. Lower division soccer in a country that doesn't play soccer. Right? This is not impressive to most people. But the sad thing is, when you're in your 20s and you're very insecure, you use it to meet women. So I remember the first team I got on was out here in Southern California, and I'm at this club and I meet these girls, and they go, "What do you do?" And they're kind of rude, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I get to say this." I'm like, "Oh, me? I'm a professional soccer player." Yeah. And they changed their tune. They're like, "Oh my God, seriously? Megan, come over here. This guy right here, he plays professional soccer with David Beckham on the LA Galaxy." Yeah. Because that's when I have to be like, no, I don't. I play for the San Fernando Quakes. We play our home games at the local high school. Thursdays at 5 o'clock. Right before the JV football team takes the field. Yeah, the school has the permit. But I tell you what, if you ever want to get dinner with me, I get paid with a meal voucher. Yeah, that's right. It's good at Subway. So I was actually lying to her because it was only good at participating Subway. You had to go up to the counter to find out. And here's the thing, so I played for 4 years after college, and then I stopped playing. People go, "Oh, why did you stop playing pro soccer?" Look at me! Like I'm Ronaldo. Like it was my choice. And I always have to be like people, I'm like, "Oh, why did I stop playing?" "Oh, I don't know, man. You see, look, after making hundreds of dollars a year, I just figured, well, I clearly accomplished everything in the sport. It's time for me to move on to something more challenging, you know? Like performing stand-up comedy in a storage facility on a Saturday." Guys, you see the laundry to the left. Let's not pretend. Oh, man. I needed a job, right? I needed a job, and because I had no life skills, because I spent all my time trying to play soccer. So stupid. Don't do it. Like, don't do it. Don't play a professional sport. Because unless you make it to the major leagues, you will be making $35,000 a year at most. You will be living with 7 people in an apartment. That's the way that will work out. There's some people in the back that are like, "Yeah, that's about right." Anyway, I needed a job, so I got into a job coaching youth soccer. This youth club said, "Look, we don't have a team for you here, but if you really need a job, why don't you go out to the field, find some players, pick that team together, and we'll pay you to coach that team that you put together." And I'm like, this makes complete sense to me. Perfect. What ages do you need? 15, 16. And the guy looks right at me and goes, "Oh, we need 5 and 6-year-olds. Yeah. I'm like, do I just go out to public parks? Looking at 5 and 6-year-olds? This sounds like a terrible plan. Well, I'll at least be wearing the soccer gear when I coach the kids, right? Now the guy got mad at me. He's like, "Absolutely not. What the hell is wrong with you? We want you to be inconspicuous at the park. Don't wear anything soccer related, so you blend in with the public." Oh yeah, this is the worst advice I've ever been given, right? And check this out. The next day it's pouring rain, right? So what am I wearing? Huge parka. with a hoodie over my head. Like, you literally can't see my face. Yeah, I look like the Emperor from Star Wars. And I have a notepad in my hand, and I'm walking up to fields of 5- and 6-year-olds. And I'm looking at them. And when I see something I like, I would turn around and start taking notes. And then when I'd seen enough, I would leave that part of the park, and I would walk to another park and do the exact same thing. Yeah, so it just looked like I was taking inventory at the park. But then check this out. There was this one little girl who was incredible, right? She was so good. But when the game ended, she started sprinting the other way. And I panicked because I'm like, I really need to get this player, right? And I don't know what I'm doing because I've never done this before. So all I can think to do is sprint across the soccer field towards her and go, excuse me! Number 15! Come here. What's your name? Yes! I did it just like that! And you're all literally looking at each other right now as if you had been there at the park with your friends and you had seen that, you would have been like, I think they're filming To Catch a Predator. Because that looks like a trap. So I don't know if you guys know this, but when you approach a child like that in a public park, that's when the security guard walks up to you. So the security guard, he walks up to me and he goes, excuse me, sir, what are you doing here? I'm completely clueless, right? So I look right at the guy and go, me? Scouting children. So this guy is just blown away at my honesty. He just thinks, this is the most open pedophile I've ever met. And then he goes, what? Are you telling me you're here looking at little girls? Now, after he said it like that, I was like, oh! No! Huge misunderstanding! I'm looking at little boys, too. Yeah, you see, I did boys this morning. This afternoon, it's girls. Yeah. So the guy's like, well, that's the most progressive bisexual pedophile I've ever met. So he grabs my notebook, shoves me to the ground in front of all these like parents and like the kids. What I'm trying to tell you guys, I can't go back to Thousand Oaks, California. And he grabs my notebook, he opens it up while I'm on the ground like this, and he goes, explain this. Number 15, blonde hair ponytail. I really need to get this one. Oh my God! Because that was the girl! I really did need to get that player! I didn't know anyone was going to read those notes out of context, right? So, I don't know if you guys have ever been in this situation before. Yes, exactly. You're all turning to each other like, no one's ever been in this situation. Literally just you. But you don't know what to say, so you're panicking. So I just look at the guy and go, yes, sir, I really do need to get that one, because if I don't get paid. Yeah. That's how I got arrested for human child trafficking. That was a fun time, guys. And look, guys, if you're not laughing, I understand, because this is uncomfortable. Okay, I really wish I didn't have to tell any of you people this, to be honest with you. But the way it works is according to California law, I'm now required to tell this story every time I meet someone for the first time. That's how the law works, guys. I like how some of you guys were like, I think that's true. I think that's